and welcome to Awakening the Blog. Today I would like to talk about the depth of connection, of the soul connection with our twin flames. Last chapter I talked about the need to control the impulses, and I tried a couple of ways. The first thing I did actually was to take distance from him. I thought that was a good way to control. And I found out that was not control. That was just sort of avoiding something by taking distance. And what happened was that the more I wanted to take distance from him, the stronger the magnetic pull was towards him. Like fighting what you resist. And after like a week that we were not in contact, he even came to my dreams in a very strong way. So it was a little difficult to sort of acknowledge that control doesn't mean take distance, but to rather go inside and be able to calm the desire, the impulse. And so that was one way of trying it. He was going through a difficult moment because it was his birthday around those couple of weeks ago, and he didn't get the only thing that he wanted to receive, which was a phone call from somebody that wasn't obviously me. He didn't get it, so he was in a quite bad mood for a while. And the interesting thing was that I felt it all the way. And I asked him, he said, no, everything's okay. But I kept feeling it and feeling it so strongly that I said, you know, we only chat, we don't even talk, but I could feel it. And I think that's one of the reasons why the majority of twin flames have not been able to be together at the physical level yet, because we need to develop this sensitivity, this subtlety of acknowledging how the soul connects and works. And for that we need to be distanced, because this has to be developed in a very subtle way, and we need to awaken to acknowledging that type of connection. And so he was in a bad mood, and I felt it, and I insisted until after we communicated, after like a week of doing the controlling impulses thing, which has gotten a lot better, but by understanding that it's not about taking distance or avoiding something, but by being in it and not letting all the impulses that want me to communicate with him go through, just taming myself. I'm still on that process. So anyway, then like I don't know how many days after we were again communicating, and I was saying something's happening with you, I don't know what it is, but I'm just sensing that you're not okay, that you're in a bad mood. And obviously through chats one cannot necessarily feel that, but I was able to feel it so clearly until like maybe 10 days after this, he acknowledged and he says, yes, it's about something that didn't happen. And then I said, was it something related to her? And he said, yes. And I said, please, I need you to tell me the truth, because I'm on this process of learning to discern whether my senses of perception are clear, or is it my projection. And so he finally told me that what I have perceived was right on, and wow, I was surprised. So we got into a little discussion because he was so upset, and so whatever I would say, he would take it in the wrong way, and he would sort of wanted to come back strongly and aggressive. So I decided to just let it go, and realized internally that he needed his space, and I respected that. So again, I took some distance, but this time different from the first time. I thought by control was taking distance. This time I just respected his need to be by himself and to sort things out, and I took some distance and just detached from anything related to him. So I think it was more or less a week that went by. I didn't think very much of him. I was doing some color puncture on a photo of him with his permission, and after that discussion, I even forgot to do the color puncture on him. And it's been like over a week that we didn't communicate again, and just yesterday, as I woke up, he came into my mind. I thought about him. But after so many times of working with this discernment, in trying to understand whether I'm thinking of him or whether his energy is coming to my space and that's why I'm feeling him, this time I realized that the difference is that the thinking happens like in the mind and the head, and I'm thinking of him, and the perception of his presence sort of is all over. It feels like it's all over me. So when I woke up in the morning, I felt his presence. I felt him. But I said maybe I'm just thinking of him, because we have to fine tune into these subtleties. It's just, it's very difficult to really discern and be able to realize where things are coming from. But the more we work with it, the better we get into discerning the perceptions and how things are coming to us. So I felt his presence, and I said, okay, I don't know if he's gonna communicate with me or not, but I think he's allowing me again to be back in this connection. I didn't write. I just felt I remember him. I felt his energy, and I took the picture and I did again the color puncture on him. Then, interesting enough, I went on by my business, and after a couple hours, I looked at my phone. And there was a message he has sent me. And so I didn't want to use words. I didn't communicate with words. I just gave him my thumb up. And it seemed that he wanted to reestablish the communication. So this is something that doesn't happen to me with anybody else. At least so far in my life, I've had different kinds of connections, but this depth of connection, in terms of feeling his energy around me, in terms of feeling how he is in his energy field, it has only happened in this deepness, in this depth, just with him. That must have a big meaning. It's not something that happens with everybody. Even with people I'm connected with that are far away, it doesn't happen. I could feel some things, but what I've been able to realize is the strength of the connection and the depth of the connection. I believe there's a soul connection, obviously. But still, to be clear about what soul is, and I mean totally clear, heartfelt, clear about the soul thing, and not mixing it with our ego or our just plain self. It is also a path that we need to undertake. Years of going back and feeling inside and connecting with other realms, other dimensions and of our being, and then realizing that kind of connection with the rest of the world. mainly with, in this case, what I call my twin flame. So I used to have so many doubts about whether, it's me, it's him, it's us, it's both. I realized that he really feels me as well, as much as I feel him. I am more aware of it. He's just reacting to impulses, and he's not totally aware of what is making him answer to my thought, or what is making me answer to his thoughts. But I do feel now that he, unconsciously most of the time, is connected and feeling the connection because of the way he has reacted all these years to the interaction with me, and the distance we have taken, and how he has responded to everything during this 7 years now. So these trial and error experiences have helped me to really be able to taste these little subtleties of connection and realize that there's a lot of depth and strength in this connection, especially and mainly with him. And so again, what I would like to suggest is that keep on being very aware and observe yourself every time you feel the connection, the presence of this being you call your twin flame. And little by little, you will be able to get a clearer picture of the presence of this twin flame in your life and the connection you have, because finally we are one. And doesn't matter whether it's him coming or me going, it's just the dynamics that we need to understand on how we are so connected. It has given me a sense of calmness in regards to the relationship, anxiety for most of the part of it, since I was able to manifest the unconditional love experience that I shared some chapters before. Well, I've been able to just relax on this and trust the universe that even if it's not this lifetime that we get together, it's a process that we need to go through, each one in its own pace, and there'll be a time when we will reconnect at every level of existence: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. There'll be a time, but we need to go through that process. And it has been interesting to understand that one of the reasons why twin flames need to be separated is to be able to learn to taste and become aware of the realm of the soul. After all, it's a soul, it's a spiritual connection. I hope this has helped. Remember to subscribe if you want to receive a notification of our uploads. You can follow us on our Facebook, which is awakening.goypaz.com. You can share your comments right here in the YouTube channel or directly in the blog, however you feel most comfortable. And also you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and that's another way that every time that we upload a video you will get a notification or a notice. And that's it for now. Thank you for being part of the story. I hope that the things that I share help you to understand more of what this kind of connections are all about. Until the next time.